The word caterer and studied in the UK was not aligning for me. As soon as I entered the shop, I saw my classmate from the UK. I knew how the conversation would go. I said, should I run? She will catch me. I was just saying, let us go. Let us say, so what do you do now? I said, I sell my money. She was like, oh my God, that's so good. You know that's so good. Like I got married at 24, and for the longest time I had this thing like, who am I? Who am I? How do I introduce myself? And with meeting people, they're like, oh, how are you? What's your name? What do you do? You know, I didn't know how to wrap my head around how I introduce myself. I was blogging at the time. But before then, I had finished my university and immediately went for my master's in the UK. The UK is very important in the United Kingdom, right? So it's like, oh, what are you up to? Oh, I just finished my master's. My name is you know, like meeting people and you just say those kind of things. Yeah, what did you study? Oh, corporate communication and public relations. You know, those things, they make for good conversation. And I'm just showing you who I was, right? I finished my master's, struggling with who am I, right? My husband will always encourage me, oh, you don't know how I see you. I think that you're more than you think you are. I was writing a blog then. I didn't even think of the blog as a big deal, but I was writing and I was enjoying it. In the process of finding my identity, I started cooking. I've always loved cooking. And by the way, I run a business here in Canada called Sauces and Grills, so shameless plug. Order from us, right? I started cooking and people were like, oh, what do you do? You're a caterer, you're a caterer. The word caterer and then studied in the UK was not aligning for me. I'm just being as honest as I can. It was, caterer, you cook rice. Every time I'm cooking rice, I'll be like, Jesus, so this is what I'm doing right now, you know, because I was really finding who I was and what I would be and what am I about, like outside 9 to 5 that I didn't get immediately because I got pregnant immediately, right? So I didn't get to 9 to 5 immediately, all those things. I said, well, who am I? What am I? And one day, I had finished selling food that day, so I went to the shop. I went to a supermarket back home in Nigeria, and then I was selling moi moi as well. I still do that right now. So as soon as I entered the shop, I saw my classmate from the UK. Hey! I knew how the conversation would go. I said, should I run? She will catch me. Should I? What do I do? How do I handle this? And that's how this girl saw me. She was like, hey, Faye, how are you? I'm like, oh, I'm doing good. How are you? How's everything? Like, fine. Oh, I heard you got married. Congratulations. Oh, thank you so much. How about you? Blah, blah, blah. We exchanged pleasantries. I was just saying, let us go. Let us say, so what do you do now? I said, I sell my money. I sell food. She was like, oh my God, that's so good. You know that's so good. Like like consolation. Oh, that's so good. I actually right now work with the government house right now in Lagos. I work under this person. Would you be able to deliver some moi moi to my house? And I said, yeah, sure. It was like the ground should open. Me selling moi moi. You see the pride that I had was seated on my shoulder. And you know, funny thing is, I see myself as a very humble person. But I remember one coach I love very well, Ekene Ono. When I told her something about this, she said, oh, babe, that's pride. I was like, no, I'm not a proud person. She was like, no, that's pride. And it stuck with me. So as I was saying, it was like the ground should open. Who am I? I said, I'm selling more. When my friend is working with the Lagos government and she's the something. Not my friend, my classmate. And I felt really bad. As I was walking down the aisle of the mall, I remember God said, you can't partake in what you're ashamed of. It felt like you cannot make progress in what you're ashamed of. That was the beginning of a turning point. I want to say that was a turning point, but that was not a turning point. That was the beginning of a turning point. All this was happening before cooking became so famous. the Basti and all of that. I just want to tell you, it's not about what you're doing, it's how you see yourself. I think I struggled with that a lot on how I saw myself. First of all, I saw myself as a flyer, as a this, as a that. My grades were good in school, university, and everything I was trying to hold on to, like, this is my identity, this is my identity, this is my identity. They were slipping from my hands until it got to moi moi, until it got to catering, moi moi, right? And then I was doing moi moi Fridays, I want you to know that you are not a summation of the things you do. Be proud of what you do, but you're not a summation of the things you do. I tell my kids, and I'm not sure they have grasped how much it is. I think I'm still learning to grasp what that really means. You are royalty. You are a king's kid. Do you know who died for you? God felt that you were so worth it that he sent his son to die for you. So you are not a summation of the things you do or the things you don't do. You are first a king's kid. So that's who you are. I want us, all of us, including me, to walk in that knowledge. And you don't need to prove nothing to anybody. I remember there was a girl, Adora, amazing, amazing lady. A particular time she started introducing herself as light. I read her book, beautiful. Like, she started introducing herself as I am light. Because we are all boxed in this space of what do you do? Introduce yourself, and you're like, I don't know what to introduce myself as. Oh, I remember even struggling with, is my husband proud of me in front of his colleagues? Who am I? I'm just the wife that is writing, oh, that is cooking tomorrow, oh, that is doing this, And God had to break all of that. Your identity, again, is not tied to anything that you're doing. Your identity is tied to the one who made you, the one who called you, the one who formed you and knew you before you were born and said that you are a light. That's who you are. So when next you get into somewhere and you need to introduce yourself, my name is Obey. I am royalty. I am a king's kid. And then this is what I do. Raise your head high, shoulder up. So yeah, I thought to share that with you.